So, I want to talk about this week's blog post, but before I do, I want to give a big thank you to Farron299 because this topic was inspired by a comment that she left under one of my recent uploads. And she said that black males owe black women reparations. And so that's the topic of this week's blog post. Do black males owe black women reparations? To me, the answer is yes. Now, please be clear, this is not something that I'm saying just to be incendiary, but I'm really thinking about all of the ways that black males have damaged black women. And I thought to myself, well, if there was a way to quantify that, right? To put a dollar amount on what that has cost us, would the collective of black women believe that black males were responsible for paying back what they've cost us? And if so, would black women look at black males and say, okay, well, not only does Uncle Sam owe us a reparations check, but so do you, Tyrone. So let's talk, okay? When you think about the fact that in many cases, when a man is required to pay child support, he's not paying it. And then there are all these conversations taking place across the country where people are saying that child support enforcement is quote unquote unfair to black men, meaning that the system is more sympathetic to a black male who has an unpaid child support debt than they are to that black mother and that black child, meaning that in many cases, the black woman is just not getting any financial assistance from the father. You combine that with the fact that about 60% of these child support awards do not require men to help cover their children's health care costs. So in a lot of cases, black mothers are 100% responsible for the cost of their children's health care. You combine that with the fact that you have a lot of black men who, while they do not believe in marriage, they also are heavily critical of black women who use birth control or have abortions, take Plan B pills, so on and so forth. So the black collective essentially tries to force black women into motherhood, only to then turn around and say, well, the men are not actually required to help you financially support the children. So black women who choose that path end up being in a situation where they spend all of their working years living paycheck to paycheck, trying to support black children that they are having to pay for on their own. Because if you say that black women should be more mercenary about mate selection, black women should require marriage before we have children, and that, you know, abortion should be on the table as an option, you know, the pitchforks and the torches come out, and the black collective will call you all types of names. So it's almost a situation of forced motherhood and forced poverty on black single mothers. Let's add to that the fact that you have black men who have spent decades making it a career to disparage black women, to say we are not suitable dating and marital partners. And if you look at the numbers when it comes to marriage, some of it is going to be, okay, maybe some black women simply are opting out of marriage. And you also have some black women who do want to be married, who would be wonderful marital partners, but they're unable to get married for a variety of different reasons. Do you understand how economically beneficial marriage is? Just when you think about the idea of combining two incomes, when you think about inheritance, okay, if you had more black women marrying men, regardless of race, but marrying men, and then when those men died, those women would inherit their pension benefits, their property, life insurance, so on and so forth. How much have black women lost when it comes to money and property because you have black men who have made it their mission to ensure that the rest of the world sees us as undesirable? See, this is not just men giving their opinions. This is men making statements that directly affect you and take money out of your pockets and food off of your table. If we could calculate how much black women have lost because of that, would you feel like Tyrone owes you reparations? Or would you feel that, okay, say the U.S. government gives black people reparations, would you feel that black women are owed a higher percentage of those reparations because of the ways that we've been damaged by black men for generations? When you think about Hollywood, how many black women in Hollywood have been shut out of job opportunities? Whether you're talking about in the music industry, when it comes to acting or other areas of the entertainment industry, how many black women have been shut out of job opportunities in Hollywood because of colorist, racist black men? If you could put a dollar value on that, would you think that Tyrone needs to cut the check? When you think about how much the world is influenced by music, right? So there are people from other parts of the world who genuinely think a certain way about black women because of the images they see coming out of Hollywood and the lyrics of this rap music. If you could put a dollar amount on how hurtful and damaging it's been to black women to have decades where black men in their music are pretty much saying bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks and referring to black women. If you could put a dollar amount on that, would you think that Tyrone needs to cut the check? These are serious questions because we really have to start to think differently about how these things have affected us. Because it would be one thing if black men were saying certain things on social media and in their music and so on and so forth, but black women weren't being shut out of opportunities when it comes to careers and marriage. But you can look at the numbers and see, okay, wait a minute. We can see by the numbers that the ways we're being stereotyped by black men is affecting us in real time. So it's not just their opinions. It's character assassination. Like I said before, it's literally taking money out of your pockets and food off of the table. Go look at how many black women over the age of 55 deal with poverty and homelessness. Because how can you plan for retirement and set aside money in a 401k when you're spending the bulk of your working years raising children on your own? You have a child support order, but the system won't enforce it because they're like, oh, poor Tyrone. Poor Tyrone has so much stacked against him, so we're not going to enforce our own order. So black women, you just have to bear that burden alone. If you could put a dollar amount on how much that has hurt black women, would you think that Tyrone needs to cut the check? Please check out the blog post. The link will be in the comment section in the description area. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, okay? I love your comments. I love when you let me know what you're thinking. Thank you again to Farron299. This has been a very interesting and thought-provoking topic to me, and I hope it is for those of you who will catch this upload as well. All right? Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.